let's just get right down to it, shall we? This car is not exactly what you call cheap. It costs 5 million euros plus local taxes, so that's 6 million quid in the UK. But on the other hand, it does have rarity on its side because they're only going to be building 40 Divos. But there is a little bit of a catch. In order to be eligible to buy a Divo, you need to already own a Chiron, and if you don't already own a Chiron, well, then you need to buy one, and that brings the bill to 7.5 million euros plus tax. Okay, so this isn't just a carbon fibre coach-built body plonked on top of a Chiron. Underneath all this carbon fibre is a much more serious machine. I'm told that this car will lap the Nardo track 8 seconds faster than a standard Chiron, which is quite a lot. The reasons for that are many. It's lighter, about 35 kilograms, not massive in the scale of things, but every gram counts. There's more downforce, and we'll come to that again in a minute, and you get stiffer springs and dampers and more camber on the tyres. So, as I said, quite a serious thing. The Divo produces 456 kilograms of downforce at its limited top speed of 236 miles an hour, which is 90 kilograms more downforce than you get at the same speed with a Chiron. And it's not hard to see why, is it? With this bodywork, every single inch of it is a slash or a vent or a wing or a protruding spoiler that just wants to slice your angles off. Some may argue that it's lost some of the Chiron's elegance, but actually, if you get it in a toned down colour like this dark blue here, which I think looks absolutely gorgeous, it's still got that elegance and it's got even more impact. Looks great to me. This wing then, not only is it a double layer, as you can see there, it's also 1.8 meters wide, which is wider than I am, 23% wider than you get than a standard Chiron, fact fans. It's hydraulically actuated, so you can alter the angle depending on which driving mode you're in, but it's a fixed height. While we're around the back, we might as well mention the fact that the diffuser is even wider than the one you get on the Chiron, and you've got a different trim on the quad exhaust pipe here. Oh, and these, how amazing are these? Look at these LED tail lights. They're like a piece of sculpture, and I'm told they're not just purely for show. These are actually lighter than standard tail lights. I don't know why they don't just put them on the VW Golf. The engine bay. In fact, there's not that much to talk about here because this car, the Divo, has the same engine as the Chiron. However, when said engine is an 8-litre W16 quad turbo capable of producing 1,479 brake horsepower and 0 to 62 in 2.4 seconds, you know, we'll give them a pass. Our time with the Divo was fairly limited, just a handful of runs on one decently surfaced stretch of the TARGA FLORIO, hence the voiceover rather than any in-car footage. But I can assure you, that is me. Immediately, the Divo shatters your assumptions. I thought this 2-ton car would feel heavy, laggy, and a bit clumsy, but it's the exact opposite. The steering is light and bright, and it turns in with the tenacity of something much smaller. The view out is perfect. It's not temperamental to drive at low speeds. It's a cliche, but it really is as easy to drive on these narrow roads as a DSG Golf. Tickle the throttle and the response is instant. There's a frictionless feel to that initial jump, and then the first pair of turbos fill their lungs. Let's call this normal supercar quick. If you can keep it pinned from there, you get the full blurry new trousers please hit. It is, of course, a complete monster, but one that still rides beautifully and finds traction on even the dodgiest surface. It's a car you probably wouldn't, but you could drive every single day. So as you probably already worked out, the Bugatti Divo is named after Albert Divo, a racing driver from back in the day who won the TARGA FLORIO twice in 1928 and 29, driving a Bugatti Type 35 on this very road. That's why we're here. That's the pits, the old pits over there. And as luck would have it, we have a Type 35 here today. Now I'm told this isn't a replica, but it's not an absolutely pucker matching numbers example either. If it was, it'd be worth something knocking on the door of 2 million quid, but it's still an utterly beautiful car, and I just wanted to show you a few of the details that make it so special. If I can figure out these high-tech leather straps, then I should be able to give you a little peek under the bonnet, because under here is something very special indeed. I'm probably going to burn my fingers, aren't I, doing this? There we go. Straight 8. And you'll get to listen to that in a minute. It's absolutely deafening, a very, very special engine. And a couple of things to point out. This is absolutely glorious. On the back of this bonnet mascot is a thermometer. You can see the red line there. The red line goes above that shoulder of the metal. Your engine's running too hot. It looks too small and too far away, but it's perfect for your sight line when you're driving this car. And you see this incredible belt-driven contraption here. That's for the tachometer. And there's more. Look at these little bits of cheese wire here. That is so you know that your panels are strapped on and safe, because if one of these bits of wires breaks, well, one of your panels is probably going to fly off a few minutes later. Now, I would like to explain exactly what all these levers and knobs and pumps and dials do, but frankly, I haven't got a clue. It's quite complicated to drive this thing, so it's just as well that I'm not allowed to drive it. But I am allowed to go for a passenger ride, and for that, I need Andy Wallace, a much more qualified man than me.